have a clear command on their business and be able to forecast where their business is going accurately, so that as you roll that forecast up in real time, you can make decisions to either accelerate, change, adjust the operating plan.
Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you. And on this episode, I have Mr. Kevin Knieriem, and Kevin is the CRO at a company called Clari. It's an amazing tool. We have some links down below. But in this episode, Kevin is going to talk to us about how sales reps like you and me, we know this is true. We have this love-hate relationship with our CRM. We love it when it gives us good stuff, but we hate putting the information in. But today we're going to talk about how you can get value from that and how those information, that data that you're putting in, how that can help you to generate more money. We're going to give you some insights on that. And we're going to help you to be successful. So let's go ahead and dive into the episode. So let's go ahead and dive in. I wanted to just bring it down to some basic level. We understand that CRMs are important, but what would you say you're talking to your seller or to one of your sales manager and they come to you and they say that we just, Kevin, the CRM sucks and I hate it. I just don't want to fill it out. It takes too much time. What is that executive, that sales leader answer, the perfect answer that you're going to tell them why they should be using the CRM?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, right, what is a CRM, right? It's a place to store account, contact, and opportunity information. And essentially, those are all major components of running a business in being able to keep that data and obviously to track sales, track rules against it. So that has been the primary revenue solution for companies to run on for the last 25 plus years. And so the importance of keeping it up to date is so that organizations understand the health of their revenue, right? Understand the health of the business.
So now this is, I guess this is where the issue comes in for us as sales reps and from a sales leader standpoint. Why do sales reps have such a hard time with CRMs in the first place?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to rewind the tape a little bit in my career. Yeah. Right? I mentioned at the onset that I started my selling career at Siebel Systems, the first enterprise CRM. The only thing that's changed in the last 20 years is it's gone from on-prem to cloud, right? You still have the same basic business object models of account, opportunity, and contact.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the CRM is a place for the sales rep to put information. It gives them nothing back. It doesn't help. It doesn't help instrument their business. They don't have any better insight into where they're going. And quite honestly, it's really hard to go through all those clicks and drop downs, et cetera, to get the data in. And after you've been selling all day, right? Airplanes, cars, trains, or in this virtual environment we're in, which we'll probably talk about a little later, it's a lot of maintenance to update a CRM record.
Yeah. And I think it's more, I never thought about it like the way you said it. It's giving without receiving. I mean, I guess in some way you can say you receive good data, but I think a lot of times it's beneficial, especially for a sales manager or the business owner, not so much maybe immediate in the mind of the sales rep. Am I making sense with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think once upon a time it might have been okay for a sales manager, but in the reality of today's business, they're making decisions off of things that happened in the past, and they're not making decisions off of things that happen in real time. And as organizations and as solutions, especially tech, have moved from on-premise to SaaS or subscription, the customer journey is continuous. It doesn't stop and end when you sell them software, right? And modern CRMs really don't allow you to track that continuous customer journey, right? It's just a moment of time of what's happening in CRM.
So give me an example.
Yeah. So let's take a company that runs their business on subscriptions. I'll use Adobe, right? So an Adobe seller is selling some kind of marketing automation solution. Maybe it was the Marketo acquisition, and they sell it. right? And then the consultants come on and they implement it, and then that customer uses it, and then that customer wants to expand, but it's under a subscription model. So you've got to resell that customer every 3 years, right? So there's so much information that's happening before sale, during sale, after sale, and at renewal that does not get tracked in CRM. And so how is a sales rep ever able to make sure all that data, because it's really the only data that gets into CRM is the data that the sales rep puts in there. So that's a lot of responsibility for a rep to try and get that data in there so you can make decisions on your business.
So so the pressure's on.
Yeah.
So now I guess this is the reason why everyone's listening to this episode. We told them Kevin is coming on. They're saying, well, Donald, how do I maintain this love-hate relationship? How can I solve these problems at hand?
Yeah.
Give us the answer.
Let me give you the fundamental challenges, both for the rep and the leader in using CRM, right? Again, it's only as good as the data you put in. It's really hard to put data into it. So the user experience isn't great. And then from there, it doesn't give you any instrumentation back to allow you to run your business. So then go up to the manager, right? The manager is trying to decipher the bits and pieces of data that have been put into CRM by the sales rep, whose job is so difficult to get it in there. And they're trying to make decisions on their business. They don't have real visibility into it. And so to try and put it in a better format, maybe sales ops is creating an Excel spreadsheet. And then they take that Excel spreadsheet and they go out to the reps and they say, tell me the story on this opportunity. And they type it into their Excel spreadsheet. And then that manager meets with their manager, and they maybe each have a different format. And it might take a week to roll up the narrative on an opportunity. And guess what? Weeks gone by, the narrative on that opportunity is completely changed. Mm-hmm. And so then they try and throw some analytics on top of it to make it prettier so that people can understand it. So the fundamental challenge that we're all dealing with, right, is CRM plus Excel plus analytics only tells you what happened at a moment in time based on really bad data and based on a manager's interrogation of a sales rep to try and get the narrative about what's happening in that opportunity. Doesn't take into consideration customer journey, customer life cycle. And so you can't really make good decisions when your data is bad and your data is from a moment in time that's typically in the past.
So the way I'm thinking about this, I'm a big sales buff, right? I mean, a space buff as well as sales, but it's like looking at a distant planet in, I don't know, another solar system or whatnot. And we're looking at this 100 million years ago by the time the light gets to us. So we're making the decision to go there, but by the time we get there, that planet's erupted, long gone.
Yeah, where it moved, right?
It moved. All right. So what are some other things that I can do as a seller? Because I do need to do it. You mentioned this from the top. I still need to have information. So how can I go about still doing this stuff, making this happen?
Yes. So let's think about, we ask sellers to essentially be the general managers of company X's franchise. And what a general manager means is you're going to put the resources of that company to best work in your business. We ask them to do all these things, right? Track time, track events, sell stuff, renew customers. And we ask them to do it like a GM or a CEO of their franchise, but we don't give them the instrumentation that a CEO has. Right? Huh. What we're asking them for is data that then gets sucked into the system and they can't use to make their lives easier. So there is a better way. Right. There is a better way to run a business. And look, I've been a rep. I've dealt with the pain. I've been a rep at the CRM companies. I've been a manager at CRM companies. I've been a manager of managers, right? And trying to roll a business. I know the pain. I used to spend 4 hours every Monday morning at the American Airlines club, LAX, rolling up my business, getting on a plane, and then having to do it the next day for my boss and then the next day for his boss. It's painful, man. There's definitely a better way. And so I feel fortunate in that I found this company, Clari. Okay. Because what Clari's provided is a revenue platform. And I'm not going to go pitch my company, but I'm going to pitch kind of the evolution of selling and how there are now intelligent systems that help guide us, to help direct us. Because it's not the sales rep's fault that they're not putting data in the system. It's too hard. They got to do their job, which is selling. So there's modern solutions now that allow us to auto capture contacts, move them into the database of CRM without the rep doing anything, auto capture all of the activity that's happening around it. So think about between marketing and sales, right? You have top of funnel systems, the Marketos, the Eloquas, the outreaches, the gongs, et cetera, that are all engaging with customers, maybe even before a sales rep touches it. Yes, where, et cetera. Outreach. We need to collect all of that information and bring it in and apply it against the opportunity record. We'll also have things happening in our customer engagement systems, our renewal systems, our system of record, right, which has traditionally been the CRM. What about email and calendar, right? Why does a rep have to go log a meeting that they had when we can automatically log that meeting for them, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, if you've got all this signal data that the rep didn't have to enter against the opportunity record, you now see the health of an opportunity. How engaged is a customer with you, right? Are they engaging with your marketing machine? Do you know if your top of funnel nurture and ABM campaigns are working? Was it helping to forward advance an opportunity? I talked a little bit earlier, Donald, about giving sales reps the instrumentation that a CEO has.
Yeah.
Well, what if we could help them see how healthy an opportunity is, right? What if we could compare the health of that opportunity against how opportunities have flowed through our processes over the last 2 years? Is this ahead or behind? Are we in a sales stage too long? Are we engaged with an executive buyer? How engaged are we with them? So from a sales rep standpoint, we can now give them the tools to understand how healthy their opportunities are.
I like that, because now if you think about it from any type of sports or any type of industry, I feel, or the top folks, is the one who has the most information. I feel that's oftentimes probably going to perform the best. If I can know how my opponents are going to play, if I can understand their plays before they run those plays, if I can know that information, their behavior based on the last time they've run this play 10 times, then that's going to help me to have best practices. So I might know where I need to go block, or where I need to go, post up or whatnot. And I think the same idea is, if based on the data you're telling me, it's helping me to understand that if I, in the information gathering stage with my prospect, if I'm able to engage with them on LinkedIn, 60% chance that deal will convert or go to a demo. That would be great intel for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, think about the data and the systems that people have built for fantasy football. Right. You can do, as the user, all this data to make good decisions so that you can go to, have your games every week. Well, think about this. The single most important number for any company is its ability to forecast. Why? Because the forecast directly impacts the operating plan of the company, good or bad. And you can't get an accurate forecast if you really don't have a command of your business. And I'd argue that the single most important function of any company is revenue, is the ability to sell. And typically, the biggest expense of any company is its sales force.
Yeah.
Right? And so think about it, that most important business process has had no process, has had no instrumentation. Supply chain, process. Procurement, process. Sales, there's really been no consistent way to run a sales organization, instrument a sales organization, and do it with confidence. And so we talk about the rep, right? My whole job at being CRO Clari is to make my reps as amazingly productive as possible, to remove barriers and allow them to have clear visibility into their franchises so they can put the resources of the company to work. Now think about this. What do reps dread every week?
Monday morning meeting?
Yeah, the manager one-on-one, right? Because they're going to get interrogated. Literally, it's an interrogation. And guess what? The manager, they hate it just as much too. Because that manager's got to get like that energy up to drill into that sales rep and understand, and it's a true inspection interrogation. So imagine if you could change that meeting from an interrogation into a coaching moment.
That would be a whole different ball game. And I'm going to call you on something you said twice, which is a good thing. I love how you use the term, the franchise. You don't refer to your folks as, it seems like they're sales reps. You're referring to them as franchisees, because it sounds like you drink that Kool-Aid pretty well about their business owners.
Yeah, I mean, they're super important, and my job is to make their lives easier.
Yeah. And then the other part to that too is if you now, I know that your job is to ensure that the brand overall, McDonald's, quote unquote, succeeds, and my store franchise is a part of your brand, that your job is trying to help me as opposed to be an interrogation. I'm going to come to that meeting every day because I'm going to get tipped from my Belichick, so to speak, to help me to perform. Well, I guess it's a bad example now with Belichick and Brady, but but
But a couple comments on that. So I've noticed, and this is probably in the last 5 years,
yeah,
that the art of selling has changed because there's so much data out there, and because of this continuous customer journey, that sales reps have had to evolve. And
yeah,
the ones that have evolved the quickest are the ones that are open to being transparent, right? You think about, you and I are on Zoom today, right? A lot of our meetings are now over Zoom. They're not on the phone. You can't hide your face. You can't hide your emotions. You can't multitask.
yeah.
Two, we have solutions now that record meetings, right? And we also have solutions that look at how effective you are doing your job. What I've noticed is the good sellers embrace this environment of openness and transparency because the data helps them get better.
Yeah. Do you have any examples, any clients, any team members that you guys have seen that made this transformation and made it from the way of thinking or utilizing, say, your technology, but are seeing a better result now?
Yeah, look, I'll use my own organization as an example. I came over 15 months ago. I brought some folks that worked for me over before. And I have a leader in the West Coast that works for me. I'll give him a shout out, Anthony Cesario.
What's up, Anthony?
Data-driven decision making. This gentleman has so adapted to it that he helps the whole organization get better by, there's little insights in what's happening. How are things moving? How do we better understand? Hey, we're all in this COVID-19 situation now. How do we understand the risk it's having on our opportunities? And is there a way to flag things that might be more at risk than others, and then use data to make different kinds of decisions on it? Look, I've seen we're here talking on Zoom, right? Zoom
Yeah.
has been a customer of ours for a long time. And we've seen them grow exponentially way before COVID-19. I'd like to think that Clari has contributed to that journey because we've helped their sellers understand where to spend their time. We've helped their managers have coaching moments with their reps. And if you think about it, a fast-growing company, what is the biggest thing they have to do? It's hire.
Yep.
So if your managers are spending hours interrogating reps to get a narrative of the business, they're not going to hire well. But if you can give them the instrumentation to understand the health of their business, coach the reps, and then hire, that's a different story. So I've seen companies like Zoom, like Alteryx, use solutions like ours, use our solution, Clari, to help them grow really, really fast.
Fascinating. So it's amazing. So, and essentially then it's Clari, you wouldn't define it necessarily as the CRM, but it's a tool. Let's just say if my company does use Salesforce right now, do I abandon Salesforce if I'm going to use Clari?
So the Salesforce is still, right, again, it's the opportunities account, it's the contact, it's the quote, right? All of that information resides in the CRM.
Yeah.
What Clari is we're a revenue platform. So CRM is just one of the data sources or signals that we bring in. We're also bringing in all that other signal data that's happening in your upstream top of funnel systems, your systems of engagement, your system of records. And at the end of the day, we're owning the revenue process, right? So we allow things to really be thought through as a process. We apply machine learning and AI to help spot risk, to help identify opportunity, and honestly, to help, where are we going next quarter, the following quarter, and how accurate is our forecast, and to be able to put another lens on the forecast and say, what is Clari calling?
Yeah.
And I think one of the unique things about what we do, right, at our heart, we're a time series data hub, and we take a snapshot of all that data constantly, and then we use our machine learning and AI to compare it to how things have happened in the past and how things are going to happen in the future. So it's real live, real time instrumentation for the company.
Amazing stuff, man. If there's one major takeaway that you would recommend that folks listening to this episode to engage with or to walk away, what's that one major piece of advice?
Well, obviously my advice to sellers is always nothing happens unless you make it happen. From there, I think it's companies need to help arm their sales and revenue organizations with solutions that help them in this modern time of transparency, this modern time of data, to be more efficient, to be more effective, and to be more connected.
Yeah.
Think about continuous customer journey, right? It's not just sales anymore. It's marketing, customer success, sales, office of the CFO. So we need to help our frontline people. We need to help our sellers, have a clear command on their business and be able to forecast where their business is going accurately, so that as you roll that forecast up in real time, you can make decisions, either accelerate, change, adjust the operating plan.
Man, this is great. And I mean, one of the big things that I'm getting from it is, I imagine being going back to that one conversation you're saying with the sales rep on that Monday morning meeting, being able to arm them and give them the direction. Like, I just feel that was a huge missing point. And to try to crunch those data on your own, God bless you. It's going to be a rough time to try to pull all that together, but this makes so much sense. It's becoming an Iron Man in sales. Well, if folks out there, Kevin, want to get in touch with you or to learn a little bit more about Clari and some of the great things you guys are doing, what's the best way for them to go about doing so?
Hey, I'm not shy giving my email out, KevinK@Clari.
Kevin K at Clari. And I'm sure we can connect with you on LinkedIn as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we'll put both of those information there. We'll put link back to Clari. And again, that's one of those tools that we highly recommend you guys check out. Kevin, thank you again for taking the time to come on the show. Super
You got it, Tom. Thanks for doing what you do. Have a great day.
Brother. Hey, thank you so much for watching this episode, and thank you for checking us out. I'm grateful that you're listening. I'm grateful for you subscribing to our podcast and also subscribing to our YouTube channel. Kevin Knieriem, you can find all the details about him and also Clari in the show notes. You can see all the details that we wrote down below. We took some time and we took some notes, but we want to make sure you're digesting the information, whether you want to read it, whether you want to listen to it on our podcast, or whether you want to watch it here. But find, again, all the details below. Connect with him on LinkedIn as well, and tell him that you heard him on the Sales Evangelist podcast. While you are looking down below at the show notes, also take advantage of the coupon code that we have. It's for our online course called TSE Certified Sales Training Course. This course is now only $149. It's typically $549. But we brought it down $400 because we know your challenges. We understand the difficulty you're going through. You have to sell during these times, and you're trying to figure out how you can best do that. Take our course. Join us. 8 weeks. You get to jump online each week during a group coaching call. And you can watch the videos on demand each week that you need to watch for the week. It's fun, it's great, and it's going to help you. Again, use promo code SUCCESS at checkout. We also have it down below. Use promo code SUCCESS at checkout to get $400 off the course. Yes. Listen, I'm doing this because I want to help you. I bring folks on like Kevin because they can give you tons of value, and I know it's beneficial. It's helped me, they've helped our team, and they've helped also some of our clients. And I want to just be able to help you as well. So find all the details again down below. Apply the stuff. I want you to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you're reaching out to these prospects. I want you to be able to convert more of these people into customers. But most importantly, I want to challenge you each and every single day to go out and do big things. See you next time. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.